Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Round 2 Front 9 coverage of the 2022 Kokkedal Open. I'm Tony Ferro.
This is Cornelius Farnsworth. You're listening to the sweet sounds of Ferro Farnsworth commentary.
Coming at you on a different course today. This is the Fredtoften course in Kokkedal itself. A little bit easier, a little bit more attackable course. Not so many trees to speak of. Can still be some wind. Elevation changes are a lot bigger on this course than the other one. Should be some double digits, I would say, coming into play.
Yeah, you say more scoreable. Emile's been doing some scoring on the other course. Good luck today.
We have a fellow Swiss player, Emile Barbe, coming in with a hot round of 9 down. Joining him with the lead is Josef Berg from Sweden, 992 rated player. Had a wonderful showing last year at the European Championships.
Here's a familiar face.
This is Jerome Braun, one of the Braun family, famous in Germany, 1013 player. And his big brother, Victor Braun, 978 out of Germany, another daddy disc golfer. Big props to the daddy disc golfers out there. I'm excited for this. This is going to be some good cards. We do have a couple lefties on the card. Emile and Victor are both lefties, so this should be an interesting card going both ways.
This course definitely laying up a whole different kind of challenge, being that there's only 4 par 4s in the entire 18 holes. So this is a par 3, 259 feet. We'll go with 79 meters this time. Tony, what's special about this hole? It looks wide open.
Yeah, nothing really crazy on this hole to get you started off. Pretty wide open tee shot. Can't really play the hyzer. There's some trees on the right. And the only difficulty here is you're going to see this basket is set up right on a big slope. You really don't want to hyzer it off too far to the left. There are some bushes in the back, but pretty straightforward hole. Get you started off with the birdies. Best play for your round.
Looking like a nice lefty hole for Emile. I think he thinks the same.
And a little bit low, getting lots of skips, but he is just outside the circle. And
I'd expect he's keeping that out of the wind. I think that was a skip shot he was playing.
I would agree. There is quite a bit of wind again today. And this course having way less trees, this is going to come into play a lot more. And
it's
yeah,
just
we
at
see
the mercy of the wind.
But it is stalling and falling quite nicely. And Josef will be, back edge of circle 2. We'll have to see if he's going to go for that one or not.
Our first look at Jerome Braun.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
The wind is just eating up that
hovercraft
bottom of the disc.
It got slammed. That's probably a good slam.
As soon as that anhyzer angle comes up, that disc just starts flying away. Let's see if Victor can correct off Jerome's throw, but he does the exact same thing with his lefty hyzer. And they're going to be doing a little putting competition over there. And Jerome wanted nothing to do with that, just a nice little toss-up. Victor from about the same spot. You gave that a little bit more of a half go. Floated it over the top. Should be an easy par.
Josef a few paces out of the circle. A good effort, but with a hyzer angle on his putt like that, that's dangerous.
I think that was a Berg, actually, too. Getting some float out of the Berg.
Emile showing some veteran discipline right there.
Agreed. That's a smart play with the wind. First round, circle's edge. Don't take a big number right off the bat. Get your par, move on. There's a lot of holes to get birdies on out here. Oh, Jerome. Victor just a little bit high on the putt. I am going to mix their names up all day.
That had some RPMs on His brother just jacket poofing up like the Michelin Man.
And wow.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Settling for the 5 on the first hole. This is a very windy green. Jerome tapping in for the par. Unfortunate double bogey for Victor.
Speaking of discipline, I mean, that was a layup for his double, knowing that it could go even worse very easily.
It very well could have. He could have been back and forth that whole time.
And like we saw from our first round coverage, double bogey on the first hole doesn't mean you're out of it.
Not at all. Hole 2, par 3, 73 meters. This is a straight, slight tunnel shot, let's say. You do have a little bit of room on both sides to work with. Just don't get too far on the sides, as there is some rough to be had. And over the fence behind those trees there is OB. But this is a pretty gettable hole.
It looks like you could have some nasty putting angles, though, on that green. Right towards the OB with this wind.
Very true, but Emile showing exactly what you need to do. Just throw something low, nice and flat, slide it up to the basket.
Great speed control.
He will tap in that birdie.
Josef with a putter in his hand, tracking right towards the pole.
Beautiful.
Nice shot.
Even closer than Emile.
Do we start talking about star frame yet? We just got a couple Browns to park them.
Don't jinx it. Okay.
One more Brown.
That's 3. That's 3. We just got one more Brown to go.
No pressure, Victor.
One Brown down, one Brown to go. All right. Victor just a little bit outside. We'll call it 5 meters. We have a high probability for a star frame. There we go. Victor will cash it in. You can kind of see here has a slight lull in the wind. You have a lot of trees surrounding you as well as a hill behind you. So there isn't too much wind here.
Third easiest hole for the day. Playing 2.85 strokes average.
Yeah, pretty short. One of the shorter holes on the
basically a must get
course, yeah.
At this point, especially in lead card. Nice putt, Emile.
And with that putt, I think we have just a formality tap in from Jerome. And we can call that a star frame. Oh, jingle jangle, boys.
Here we go. The European star frame celebration.
And that is very common in all of Europe.
Is it popping up in the States at all?
I doubt it.
All right.
They're not so camaraderie guys like we are. It's okay.
You'd get a funny sideways look if you tried it.
Well, let's move on to hole 3. Par 3, 66 meters, but this is way uphill. These guys are all going to be taking fairway drivers at least to get up to this basket to try and get a birdie putt here. Taking something super flippy. It's really just make the gap, get straight up the hill. There's not a huge tee pad to deal with either. And of course, Emile shows me up and throws a freaking flippy rock.
What a shot.
Well, get him, Emile.
Emile's got plenty of power, so it's not a huge surprise for us. We've seen him play a lot.
Okay, maybe I just have a noodle arm and all these guys are going mid-range.
No, that's actually not the case. We're going to say that's incorrect, sir.
I just remember throwing this thing as hard as I could with a fairway and just hoping for the best. Okay, see, Jerome's got the fairway. There we go. Yeah, just a little wide right. That's a common miss. You're really trying to do a lot of arm motion here because you don't get too much run up with the legs.
An air bounce gets him up over the top.
Squeaking it
really
right
nice drive.
over the hill.
Excellent position.
Victor will be in the circle about 6 meters away, putting for that birdie. Lots of familiar faces on watching that lead
Jerome's
card.
looking pretty happy about this look.
Well, he was liking the go, just a little bit too low, but tap that in for the par. Josef, great effort, just a little wide right. Cameraman, watch out there. Disc's coming at you. Oh, Victor.
Little left side, but it needed more pace, and it would have continued straight into the pole.
Just seemed to be a little bit lack of focus. Emile not lacking in that focus, cashing in on that birdie.
Great start.
You could see that thing was floating through the wind there, too. Getting a little bit of a tunnel coming up here. Oh, yeah, look at that. Little headwind coming up the tunnel from the tee pad. Those putts aren't as easy as they look.
Yeah, both of those guys have serious, pure spin putts. So if the wind gets a hold of one of those, but at the same time, that's cutting through the wind. Yeah, I mean, that's actually an excellent putt for the wind.
That it is. Lots of spin helps fight through that wind. Moving on, hole 4, par 3, 105 meters. Have a pretty far downhill shot, and the basket is going to be just behind the tree on the left that is sticking out, and it's sitting on the edge of the downhill slope. So you're really going to have to control your landing here and not throw it too far, because as soon as it gets over the top of that hill, it is bye-bye in the bushes left, and you are going to be scrambling. But this is not a too difficult hole. It just takes that touchy landing zone. Very gettable, very attackable.
Seriously sloped green.
Not the easiest lefty hole, I would say. That is looking a bit high, but
that was a putter, wasn't it?
No, he's got this flippy rock that he keeps using, and he got a nice little kick. He got it right through the trees, checked up, circle's edge. Attaboy. So for the righties, this should be much more textbook. Josef executing very well.
What a shot.
That's about 8 meters, just uphill putt. Beautifully done.
Well, you missed a similar distance putt last hole, so let's see if we can make a correction.
Be curious how the wind is down there.
Look how the wind is up there.
Yeah, but you can see as soon as you get into the trees there, it'll stop. And so now, yeah, he caught that air, and then it was nothing. And so it really negated the flight. And unfortunately, it was up a bit too high when it caught the air. And he caught a branch. He'll be a bit short. Have to settle for par. Ooh, Victor.
I flipped a little more than he planned on.
But it was looking hot. For a lefty backhand shot, that was very well executed. Not just a bit too much Anheuser angle, but how, like I said, with the wind.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd be surprised if he even went for that.
Tough to control. Smart layup by Jerome.
Well, just a couple strokes out of the lead. It's moving day.
Victor just a bit low left. Josef. Just a bit too flat on the putt. Bounces off the right side chains.
Yeah, he's missing pro side right now.
Emile with the last chance. Save the
Emile's
card.
Been making it pro side.
Oh, and just leaves it a bit too soft.
Yeah, that was for a turkey chance.
And that'll be a star par frame
for Barbe.
But no big deal. All these guys are, well, sorry, Victor. Victor is still fighting a bit. The rest of these guys are 1 down, 2 down. Not the greatest start, but still lots of time to fight. We'll get into hole 5, our first par 4 of the day, 148 meters. Excuse me. You really want to get it over these trees or shoot it straight and slightly left of the tree. But if you go left for the safe shot, you are going to set yourself up for a blind approach, as the basket is right behind this bush with the white flowers or the whiter leaves on it. It's on a downhill slope. Pretty tough shot if you're going to play that left safe shot. You're going to pretty much just settle for par at that point. You don't
settle for par. There's 6 players that eagled this thing today.
I agree. If you push the envelope and you go over the bushes, over the top, you're very capable to make it to the green, right under the basket.
He's for sure looking over the bushes, over the top.
Now, the lefties have the toughest time on this one. This is a very difficult angle to hit for the lefties to get in for an eagle. Emile executing it very nicely, but you can see it fades out away from the basket. He will be somewhere around circle 2's edge to try and go for that eagle.
There's just absolutely no trouble up there, obviously.
Yeah, if you have the arm.
Trouble's at the end.
That's the big thing. If you have the arm, you can get over these trees, no big deal, flex it in there. But if you don't have the arm to fight through the wind and get it to the basket, this can be a troublesome hole if you catch the top branches.
Really going for the full flex out here.
And Jerome fighting through, just a little bit short left, but that'll be just an easy up and down, and he'll take the birdie. I couldn't see much worse happening there, but almost perfect angle for the eagle.
Do we say anything about Victor's shirt? Would that be a subject?
Oh,
that's nice.
The schnazziness of the shirt did not correlate to the flight of the disc, unfortunately, and he caught the guardian tree right at the top, kicked him down to a fairly decent spot for the approach.
Oh, Mehdi.
Shout out to Mehdi Bukharabilia. I hope I got that last name right.
You tried.
I tried.
Heck of an
my
effort.
Best. And we can see this is exactly the problem when you end up short left, is that you got to get it over the bush, but far enough.
An opposite situation, long right.
That is the eagle bid for Emile, though. He has a cannon on that lefty arm of his.
But again, not trying to bite off more than you can chew. Just, he'll take the easy, stress-free birdie.
Birdies are great. Jerome looking about the same idea, not trying to bite off too much, just putting it in a spot where he knows he can make the putt.
That looked like a pretty darn good putt to me.
It sure did, didn't it? Maybe just a little bit too soft.
Too much hyzer angle.
Yeah, at the end of the flight, just a little bit soft, and it kind of bounced off.
Too much hyzer angle for this particular Prodigy basket, that's for sure. That time.
And Josef carding the eagle.
Look at that drive. That's all he had left?
Yeah, it was a lot better than I expected at the landing
me as
on
well.
there. It didn't seem quite so close.
So anyway, one of the 6 players of the day to eagle.
Probably all righties that eagled.
Nice too.
Yeah, like I said, when you have the arm and you can really just rip it over the top and let the disc fight back through the wind with overstability, this hole is pretty much a cakewalk. But if you don't have that distance, this can give you a lot more trouble than these big boys do.
More disc golf. We're back.
Another par 4, hole 6, 154 meters. Pretty long tunnel shot right off the bat. This is about 100 meters, I would say, maybe a little bit more to get out of the tunnel. After you do that, you want to try and keep it on the road or to the right of the road as we are going uphill. And this is 60-ish meters up the hill, let's say. Maybe a little bit less. It just feels like forever to get up there once you're there because it is quite a steep incline. Not too much OB. There is a creek down on the left side of the pathway off the tee, but it does play casual. Let's see if these guys can capture the birdie here. Flex sidearm is a good play here if you have that much on your sidearm.
Correction on my side, I see the creek on the left is OB, not casual.
It is no longer casual.
Maybe a new rule for this year.
Okay. Oop, heads up.
That guy's a survivor.
It's good reflexes. Always duck if you hear
down.
four. Protect
the
your
chopper.
head. Don't look. All right, Emile, a little bit early out of the hand. Is it going to roll over? Yeah, he's about to the short tee, let's say. That should be gettable. He's got enough arm for that. Jerome looking good. Oh, just a bit too flippy. It seemed to have rolled over at the end of the flight.
He's got a really good form from the tee.
Man, that is a snazzy shirt, though.
I mean, it really blends in, though, with the background. That's the thing.
Yeah, he
Next time, wear something that's a little more contrasting color, you know?
Uh-oh. Unfortunate OB from Victor. I didn't see the flight on that thing. It must have kicked a tree or so and ricocheted.
Are you sure that's
out.
OB? It looked to me like he was the disc was not completely underwater. Maybe they're discussing now.
Okay. Tough to say.
It seems to me he just marked the disc from the OB and he played 2 from there.
Maybe just the creek itself is the OB and that he is leaning on the edge
Careful.
of it.
I mean, he's really risking getting that shirt dirty right now.
Yeah, but he took the meter from the top of the hill. I would say that there's gotta be.
Oh, okay. All right. This was on the other bank. I thought he was on the inside bank of that creek. So
Jerome?
that was definitely his third shot. My mistake.
Yeah, Jerome just pitching out. Emile a little cut off, but look at that sidearm.
Oh, he generated a lot of power from that position.
That had to feel like well over 100 meters to get up that hill. Flex sidearm.
What are your feelings on his footwork on that shot?
That's tough footing when you got that.
Well, what I mean, I guess, is the step out and throw and showing your balance. That's essentially a version of a patent pending shot, yeah?
Kind of, yes.
So these kind of shots I always look carefully at because, you know, if you're stepping out and throwing from that plant foot, I mean, if anyone on your card called you for that could be a legitimate footfall.
Ooh, Josef almost cashing it in with the sidearm there.
That was a nice looking shot. He's just playing catch for the basket up there.
Victor approaching as well. He will be right under the basket, tapping that in. Unfortunate bogey, but with the OB drive, can't complain. That's the best scenario. And Emile, gorgeous putt. Lefty pro side. Slight hyzer on the putt. They love catching those.
And when his putter's hot, it's going to be really hard to catch him.
He's 4 for 6 right now. That is doing work. Jerome, easy par. 2 down right now. Still keeping in the fight, but probably hoping for some more right now at this point.
Well, the second hardest hole for the day.
Well, Josef and Victor are feeling that with the bogeys. Well, we'll move on to a very gettable hole. Hole number 7, par 3, 70 meters. Very downhill shot. There is OB behind the basket. There is a creek back there as well. Or do you want something overstable putter, straight putter, right down to this basket, catch it a little bit early, let it skip up to the green. And this is one that you really want to get. Little shout out to Mats over there.
So if the first throw goes behind the basket and OB, this plays from a drop zone. Oh, that's a super stable frisbee.
Yeah, stable, early landing, skip it up in the circle. Bit short, but happy.
A bit of a dangerous putt, but I don't think he's worried about it.
Here we go again. Straighter approach here, but still landing early, skipping up. And these are 7 meters downhill. Solid, gettable putt.
I think James Conrad would be, this is like his worst nightmare, this kind of hole. He'd fly right off that thing.
But this is nothing more than just a little toss. You don't need much forward momentum here. Josef playing
Nice shot,
to
Josef. And on the safe side, that's the putt you want to have.
Well executed. No movement when it landed.
Okay, I don't think we've seen a sidearm from him yet today.
Ooh, Victor, but that is wide and outside.
And that's really stable.
Stop, stop, stop.
That had an incredible angle on it out of the hand and still flexed a bit.
Is that safe? Okay, he's safe.
It says the creek itself is OB.
Just the
That's
creek,
definitely
okay.
not in the creek.
He was looking at it like it was not so good.
I'm sure he couldn't tell where that ended up.
Maybe he was just upset that he threw it so wide.
He's looking at this one.
But this is in his wheelhouse.
Oh, everything but in.
We'll call that one 99.4%.
He needed that to get back on track.
All right, Emile, focused, determined. Just catching a little nose down. Wind just slammed it.
He's missed a couple low. I mean, he's only missed a couple today.
It's the right
Literally
miss
2.
here. You know, if you miss it high here, you're for sure going OB.
I guess I'll take that back. Hole 1, he didn't miss anything. He laid that up. Oh. That looked good.
It was looking good, but just a bit high.
Respect for the
Catching
aggression.
top band. Josef will take the lone birdie.
Josef's starting to feel it. He's got a bogey sandwiched in there, but
also got that
overall,
eagle.
good round.
That's not bad. Emile a bit disappointed, taking the par as well as Jerome.
Well, that's fine. So he pars and then gets 2 birdies, and then he pars. So he's due for 2 more birdies now, according to my algorithm.
Well, this very well could be one of them. A little bit tougher of a par 3 to get, 106 meters. Hole 8, got to get over this berm right off the tee. There's kind of a 2-tree gap to hit, but you really want to keep it on the fairway and not go left or right. The bushes here is jail. It's not OB, but it might as well be because you're just pitching out from there. There's no routes to get through. Find your route, get your shot in, blind tee shot. But again, scoreable holes.
Just stay out of the creek.
Oh, Josef coming in. Annie flexing out. Looking
that's
good.
That's got to be about as good as you can throw it. That was a nice flight.
Textbook shot. That was gorgeous.
But, of course, it does look like it sets up well for the lefty backhand.
No doubt. Emile looking to
Emile
attack.
thinks that as well.
Big hyzer. Yeah. Oh, no.
That's surprising because that kid has a lot of power.
Yeah, he just seemed like he was a bit too soft on it, or maybe just didn't have enough disc
Yeah, that's
in his
exactly what I
hand.
was thinking. A whole different
Jerome,
approach here.
this slamming though. Does it have enough air? Looks like it didn't have quite enough air on it, or maybe a little too much Anheuser
We didn't see the
angle.
landing, but he may have cut rolled into the trees a bit.
I think he's going to be a bit short, just looking to get up and down for the par. Yeah, Victor correcting off of Emile's mistake, getting a bit wider to the outside. Still ending up a bit short, though. This wind might be really stopping the discs from coming in so much. Josef really showed the difference by having his disc flex out at the end.
That's a great attempt.
Nothing to take away from Jerome. Great run with that putter. Almost cashing in from way downtown for the birdie. Victor just outside the circle. Little
Out of the
step.
hand. There was
Yeah,
no chance.
just a little yank out of the hand. You'll have to settle for par, unfortunately. But here we get a good look at the rough. Emile just inside the bush and just had nothing. Woof. Josef so close. Maybe didn't take quite enough time on that putt, but it's in.
Yeah,
No
that's
worries.
in, and that ties him up with Emile for the lead right now.
And we got ourselves a battle.
He quietly snuck up there with a couple birdies in a row. Eagle on 5. Just one blemish on his card. Oh, no.
No.
There's a blemish on Victor's card, unfortunately.
Just low for Victor.
He doesn't seem confident on the putting green today, yet.
Yeah, you
It's
never
time
know.
to get that putter warmed up, period.
Maybe it didn't go so well on the practice green this morning with the wind. Maybe just couldn't find that routine, that rhythm that you need before the round starts. Something like that can always happen in these windy conditions. Swirly winds going around. And as soon as you miss a couple, the confidence level can just drop.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see it from his body language at this point.
But we got one more on the front 9. This is another one that you can very easily get backhand righty, sidearm righty, or backhand lefty. This is an attackable shot. Hole 9 is 69-meter par 3. Blind off the tee again, and you're just hooking up, going right around the corner. You want to keep it a little bit high so you can fade. Try to keep the angle on the disc not too sharp to try and keep it from rolling on the slanting right to left green. Slightly technical shot, but really it's not that far.
It's basically an approach shot.
For these big boys, they should be all looking to score on this. Josef coming up a little bit short. He will be just outside the circle, putting for his birdie. Emile, I think, is going to show us the way.
It seemed like that hung into his hand a little too long.
Yeah, he just grip locked that one.
He's just having a little bit of trouble with his feel right now.
I would agree. Just not coming out of the hand.
These are not 100%
like
drives or kind of out-of-the-box shots. Huh? This just requires him to really have the feel and the right disc. Jerome, the putter in his hand.
Looking okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe too long, yeah. It was... But hey, catching one of the bushes behind the basket, slamming him down.
Yeah, that's a legit strategy.
I mean, yeah, you can, but if you break through those things, then you're almost for sure taking a par. It's a little bit rough behind the basket there, along with most of the rough in this course. Jerome looking for a skip shot, but with this angle of fairway, I wouldn't have even expected anything but what he got.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerome's approach with the Anheuser landing flat seems like a very legit shot. This is a legit putt right here from about 20 meters.
Ooh, great.
Nice try.
attempt. Just a little high and right side. He's a lefty.
Yeah, but it was a nice go because not really much could happen after that.
Very true, especially with the green the way it is. It's kind of like a backboard.
It's literally a safe bid.
As long as there's not too much angle on the disc, then there should be no roll.
Victor not catching any metal. He's still looking to get dialed in from the putting green right now.
And Josef for birdie.
And he's dialed in on the putting green right now.
That is
Wow,
solid.
he's hot right now. This guy's on fire.
Take another look
Little
at that.
fire flame
beautiful
emoji,
spin
please.
putt. Get some. No place but center of the pole.
It's a really repeatable putting stroke as well. Not much mechanics happening. Just from the front of his body, just a small wrist motion. Jerome. That's a lack of concentration.
Yeah, it's just a little timid on the putt. Wind was probably blowing kind of weird at that point.
I think just a little bit of nerves.
Unfortunately, I'll take the par on that park job. Hi there. Man, Victor, a little high on the chains, but it caught it nonetheless. And we got a couple pars for Victor and Emile. And that will wrap it up for our front nine.
Loses another stroke to Josef. That's a 3-stroke turnaround in the last 3 holes. The back nine's going to be exciting, Tony Ferro.
Quite a battle on moving day. Let's take a look at the scores. Josef leading us off on the card with 14 down. Emile just behind him at 13. Jerome keeping in the fight with 10 down. And Victor having a bit of trouble on the front nine with only 5 down now.
Yeah, he's way out of the lead.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard. We still have Josef and Emile on top, but Soren Handrup is coming in with
and then
a
another
5 down.
familiar name popping in there.
Hey, and a KJ.
What's up,
Nybo
KJ?
with a hot 7 down on the front nine.
That's a player that if he gets hot, he can streak them together.